It's just past 8:30 in the morning here. I know it must be very early in the morning for you. Nicole Norton, singer-songwriter based out in Nashville, Tennessee. Morning, Nicole. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good.
Thanks for hanging in there with us for the last while. Did you have to fight the sleep? Have you got some coffee there?
I've been doing various things. I was jumping on our trampoline. I was doing my nails, just doing things that just don't normally do. So yeah.
We've gifted you some extra time, which I'm sure
Absolutely.
you've made the most of. Now, Nicole, what we love is the music we enjoy, the bands we know, the artists we know, and then every now and again we're introduced to somebody brand new. Now, I'm not going to speak for all
Mhm.
of our listeners, which are not only from South Africa but in other parts of the world as well. I am a brand new listener and a fan of Nicole Norton.
Awesome.
So I'm so glad that I not only have been introduced to you only in the last few days, but that I get to introduce you to our listeners. So tell us a little bit about your journey from where you made music and then you decided to make music and write music for the King.
Yeah. Oh goodness. I will try to keep it kind of short because that's a long loaded question. But so I grew up in South Dakota in the US and honestly have been singing my entire life. I went to college in Nashville actually at Belmont University. And I knew about when I was about 16 or 17, I felt like the Lord gave me this kind of a vision of honestly, it was a vision of like seeing a stadium of people, and I was on the stage and
Wow.
I was singing for him, and it was just kind of a, hey, this is what you'll be doing, but it was very much more just you're going to use your voice, and so tucked that away and went to Belmont to pursue music. And honestly, it's amazing how this is 20 years later from that whole experience,
Wow.
and I'm now seeing where the Lord's like, and now we're starting to like walk in that. Not that I haven't been doing my music for the last 20 years. Um, I've been doing various, worship team and playing for events and women's conferences, things like
Hmm.
that. But, and I'd been writing since college, but it was very much a thing where I felt like I should write. I felt like it was something I had to do, but I didn't enjoy it, to be real
Hmm.
honest. And so I recorded a few things in college and kept writing because I had a voice trainer that kind of expected it. And and then honestly, it was about, let's see here, 2019. Um, was struggling with a friend who was about to lose their 7-week-old baby, and
Wow.
I have empathy is supposedly a strength of mine. I don't look at it that way sometimes because it's hard to hold other people's pain and
Yeah.
to hurt for them and all of that when it really doesn't feel like that helps them at all. It just hurts you.
Hmm.
And so I was sitting in a coffee shop actually praying about this specific thing where I felt helpless to my friend who was about to lose their baby. Um, and I was like, Lord, I don't understand this gift of empathy does not help her at all. So what am I supposed to do with this? And very clearly, he said, you know how to write music, write for
Wow.
them. And so that was kind of the moment that everything sparked for me of I can actually impact people with music that he gives me to share. Um, that happened that was September, October of 2019. But my second prayer was, okay, well, I don't have the life experience to write that song.
Hmm.
That's not a song that you can just write, God's going to work everything for good when you
Yeah.
just lose your baby or
Exactly.
whatever. And so about a month and a half later, we lost my father-in-law to a tragic ATV accident. And it's been a crazy journey since then. But my passion for writing has only grown um, to the point where I get a little nerdy about talking about songwriting because I love it so much. But it's definitely something that now I see where God is totally using my life experiences or my trials or the good, the bad, the ugly,
Hmm.
whatever, to be able to put it into song form to so that's kind of the long and short of it, I guess.
That we like that. Now, the song we're going to play for our listeners a little bit later on called Smoke. When I
Mhm.
saw, oh, I've got a song here in my inbox called Smoke. I wonder what this could be about. When I listen to it, I'm taken there to the fiery furnace, to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And
Yes,
as soon as
yes.
I heard it, and I thought, this is one of those songs where we can be taken right into a biblical understanding of the trials of life.
Mhm.
Where was that inspiration exactly for you and Smoke?
Okay. So for real, do you not know?
No, for real, I don't know.
Okay, okay. Because the cool thing is, it is exactly from Daniel 3.
Aha.
So what happened, again, this was such a crazy season of life for us, but back in 2022, um, nope, sorry, 2021 and 2022, we had about a 6 month period where in August of 21, we lost our black lab to cancer, like
Oh.
very quickly. It was very unexpected. And we are huge animal people. That's one thing about me, that I adore animals. And so that was just kind of a tragic event there in August. And then September, we moved, which was just, life transition. And then I had a major surgery. And about 2 days before that surgery, my grandma passed away, and her and I were super close.
Mm.
And then the week after my surgery, my aunt passed away
Goodness.
unexpectedly. And then about a couple months later, we lost our cat to cancer. And then in February of 22, my husband was diagnosed with stage 3 heart failure and basically given not great odds. And they told us, we had 3 months of intense, and by the end of that treatment, we would know if he got better. Praise God, miracle, awesome, whatever. If he stayed the same, he would have a pacemaker, meds for life, things like that. And if he
Mm.
got worse, he would be on the heart transplant list and maybe given about 5 years. And so
Wow.
we were devastated, and also just, all of a sudden your life is completely upside down. Um,
Mm.
Not knowing, I mean, in our early 30s, what life was going to look like. So we waited those 3 months out. We prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, for that miracle. And so we get to the 3 month mark. His heart is healing, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then I was asked to speak for a teen girls foster care camp, that summer. And I am not, I can talk, whatever, but I'm not a preacher. I'm not
Mm.
that's just not my thing. Not
Yeah.
that it maybe won't be someday, but like that was very out of the box for me. But they asked me to speak and they asked me to lead worship. And I was like, well, I'll lead worship, but I don't know about speaking. And so they came back a couple days later and they're like, we really, really want you to speak. Will you please, please do it. And so I prayed about it, really, like, please, Lord, don't make me do this. But he made it very clear. It was like, yes, yes, you should do this. And so I said yes to it, knowing, like, Lord, this is completely out of my comfort zone. But the camp wanted me to preach, or not preach, speak, whatever,
Mm.
on Daniel. And there was several different things in Daniel they wanted me to dive into. Well, Daniel 3 is that story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And I was studying to share it with the girls. I was reading it, and that's a story that I've
Mm.
read my entire life, and it's awesome. It's like, okay, he saves them from the fire. Well, in chapter 3, verse 27, it says they didn't even smell of smoke.
Mm.
And it was like God highlighted that verse, and I was like, man, so I've always focused on, okay, they're alive.
Mm.
They came out alive, right? But you can't even walk by a campfire and not smell of it.
Yeah.
And so it was one of those things where it was very clear he wanted me to do something with that. Well, then I don't know, a couple months later, I felt like looking back at, the previous months of our lives and just going, man, we had a lot, a lot in
Yeah.
a very short amount of
Like
time.
a roller coaster
But
ride.
oh yeah, like one thing after another. but we were probably more passionate about life. We were more joyful. Our marriage was better. I don't know, like it was just this, you knew that he carried us through it, And so that was kind of the inspiration behind it all, was just that, he carries us through those, and he can do so much more than just help us survive it. Like, we don't have to smell of depression and defeat and discouragement and all the things. He's beyond that. So anyway, that was kind of where that song came out of. So
we've learned so much about you just in this short time, as you shared your life and what you like and what you don't like, and your family and your animals, and you've certainly introduced us into who Nicole Norton is. But you've been through so much. And you started off by saying that's where your songwriting comes from the place of life, from the stuff of life. And I come to realize we share so many things. Doesn't matter which side of the equator we live, or which country we're in, or even what language we speak. We go through the struggles, and we feel like we're in the fiery furnace. So we all need the music. So look forward to playing your song in a moment. Just before we greet each other, and you can go and have your good night's sleep that you so deserve. When you knew you were speaking to somebody in South Africa, I mean, what is your idea of South Africa when you think about that?
So it's funny. One of my friend co-writers is actually lives there.
Oh.
So I have just a little insight. It seems like a beautiful place. I think of it as somewhat tropical, but I don't know if that's because I think where she lives, kind of like she's shown me pictures of, the water, the edge, whatever. But it also seems, as far south as it is, that it should be cold. And I don't know.
No. It can be cold. Depends where you are, but not here. We're in Cape Town. Cold here for us in centigrade is like 12 degrees centigrade. That's called the wintry day for us, but it depends where you are. So, but we don't have animals roaming the streets. It does depend, of course, where you live. But in Cape Town, you're not going to come across a lion walking down the main road.
That's encouraging. If it weren't for such a long flight, that is one place I would love to visit someday. Not that the flight's, the worst. It just sounds a little daunting.
No, it is. It can be far, but it'll be totally worthwhile. If you want to come visit a place with wonderful people and wonderful things to see, you're certainly welcome to cross the Atlantic and come and pop in and visit us here in South Africa. It'll be great having you. Nicole, thanks for introducing yourself to us. I can't wait to play your song so we can get a better feel of that period and what a great song it is. Nicole, go and have yourself a good night's sleep, and we're already in Friday, and we know you're looking forward to your sleep and then to go and do what you need to do with your lovely family. So thanks for your time and for your sacrifice today.
Thanks for having me. Yes.
What a pleasure.